Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Friday, October 25th, 2019. In both the Lynn Life and the Jamie Body Mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions, and all other souls from all other dimensions, as long as the souls are already living by the many search for truth rules already given to the search for truth community by wiser minds above all of us. We have 13 of them committed to paper. We've covered 9 of them on camera, and we're happy to cover the remaining 4 that are on paper, on camera, and we acknowledge that there could be other rules that we don't yet have on paper. Is there any interest upstairs in us covering the remaining 4 rules on camera? Or in your telling us what additional rules might be that are coherent and consistent with these existing rules? Because one of these rules is stick with long-standing instructions over new instructions.
That's true.
So it has to be coherent in answer to whoever's question that is, of why does it have to be consistent? Because that's one of the rules.
That's true. I don't feel any interest upstairs.
No interest. That's okay. We just don't want to be disrespectful to whoever it is who told us at one point in time to cover those topics on film.
That's true.
We have another topic that's been put on the table recently, and that's the topic of bringing balance to the karmic application cycles, balance to both tails of the bell curve.
That's true.
Right now, the best of the best are receiving instant karma by their pre-birth request, and because their guardian angels are also willing to do the work that it takes to provide that level of supervision. And that's been going on for quite some time. The best of the best, roughly 2% of humanity, has been receiving instant karma. Somebody asks about other species. We don't know, because humanity is the species that is destroying Earth right now, and therefore that's what we're focusing on.
That's true.
We're trying to live by our assignment of creating a world that works in all dimensions and for all categories of sentience inside those dimensions. I think we need to stretch higher. This arguing tone, it doesn't bode well.
That's true.
Now that the best of the best has been receiving instant karma for however long it's been, we see that it can be done. And we also see that in the center of the bell curve, it's exceedingly difficult to provide instant karma accurately, real time.
That's true.
Because there's so much confusion. And we also see that there is a second tail of the bell curve, the opposing tail of the bell curve, the worst of the worst.
That's true.
And that if all the unused resources of guardian angelhood are reassigned to provide instant karma to that low end of the bell curve, the bad tail of the bell curve, that possibly it would be possible to provide guidance to the masses in the center of the bell curve.
That's true.
And we think that it's a worthy use of our grace, energy, finances, focus, assets, and time, which is all we have to offer.
That's true.
Any of us, ever. That's all any of us has to offer. Grace, energy, finances, focus, assets, and time. We think that that's a worthy goal. We would like to be of service in the effort to support the guardian angelship in shifting their focus to provide balance to both tails of the bell curve.
That's
not
true.
just instant karma to the best of the best, but also instant karma to the worst of the worst. And as members of the community that is requesting and receiving instant karma, we very strongly ask that you not take away our instant karma.
Please do not take it away.
Please don't take it away. We really want our karma instantly. We don't want our karma held in abeyance and then dropped on us like a piano.
Exactly.
We want our karma as we go.
Yes,
Thanks. Please. And for the sake of the overall community of planet Earth and this overall bell curve, the vast bell curve of intention and awareness, also known as the vast bell curve of karma.
Yes.
For the sake of the allness, will you please provide some guidance to the bad tail of the bell curve, so that the people in the middle can say, oh, that bad guy just had a bad thing happen. Maybe I don't want to be quite as evil as I was considering being.
That's true.
How can we be of service to implement these strategies? We know that other planets with this level of destruction some of them have successfully stopped the destruction.
That's true.
We can feel it, because when we ask what has worked on other planets with this level of destruction to stop the destruction, there are planets. And when we ask to be shown what were the karmic cycles on those planets during the time that the destruction was coming to an end, those cycles look immediate.
That's true.
There looks to be no lag.
No
it's
gap.
Just boom.
You do a bad thing, the consequence
Boom,
comes.
right there.
That's true.
And we think that that's probably going to be an essential part of the recipe of success here. So can we start by taking all the guardian angels who aren't doing anything and reassigning them to work the bad tail of the bell curve and provide the same level of service to the bad tail of the bell curve that is currently being provided to the good tail of the bell curve? Please don't take away our instant karma, but also give them instant karma also, please, please. Just the same kind of thing you're doing for us. Do it for them, please.
Mm-hmm. And someone upstairs is talking about how actually, if those guardian angels who are responsible for the middle of the bell curve are looking for an easier job, then this would really fit into that category, because in terms of scale it is so much easier to see someone doing a bad thing on a really big scale, like running a corporation that destroys the planet, or running a corporation that funds genocide. That's a really easy tell. It's easy to tell that person's doing a wrong thing. And these presences in the middle of the bell curve have been saying it's way too hard to tell in the middle of the bell curve.
There's too much noise, and I think that that's what the barking represents. There's just too much noise in the middle of the bell curve.
Exactly.
And there are people who are doing bad things because their bosses tell them to do it.
That's what they're talking about.
And they're not saying, I'm not going to do that. Leave me out of your slime ball scheme. They're just pretending that they have to do what their boss tells them to do. And obviously they don't have to. They can say, I'm not going to do that.
Exactly.
And often when confronted with their own lack of integrity by an employee saying, I'm not going to do that, bosses who also want to be good people will say, whoa, what have I become?
That's right.
And maybe the employee is supposed to provide that service to the boss.
That's true. It could even be in the soul plan.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
By soul contract. What does this represent? What is he barking at? He's barking at our chickens?
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
Alright, well, let's not ignore it. It's a message. What is the message of Baxter barking at the chickens, who are also farm residents?
That's true.
Hey, Baxter!
Baxter?
Baxter. Those are our chickens. Farm dogs are not supposed to bark at chickens. This is an egg farm.
That's true.
We're not supposed to be barking at the chickens. Okay, please don't do that. Now, he'll either stop barking or he won't stop barking, but if we don't have that conversation with him, have we really given him a chance to do the right thing when he's caught up in his insanity? And can we see that this is what guardian angels are supposed to be doing?
Exactly.
Baxter, you're not supposed to be barking at the chickens.
That's true.
Don't bark at the chickens. Sometimes it takes a little bit of repetition for all of us.
That's true.
We know that everything is a message, and ignoring the messages is a way to extend our suffering for as long as possible, rather than learning quickly.
That's true.
So it's much better to just pay attention to the messages and think, oh, interesting. What does that unpleasant situation have to do with the big assignments that I have for my life? And how could I change my way of thinking? There is a hawk sitting on a branch right there looking right at us. If you kind of lean, you see it?
Yeah, I do.
Well, in this case, Baxter has calmed down, and it took almost nothing.
That's true.
So maybe, how about guardian angels being willing to do the same type of thing? Are any guardian angels up there willing to converge on the low end of the bell curve, the bad tail of the bell curve, the bad side of the bell curve of karma, to the worst of humanity, those who are racking up the worst karma, and to provide them with some feedback? And really, we think the feedback needs to be probably things along the line of plane crash and terribly
That's true.
devastating outcomes.
Commensurate
With the destruction they are imposing on other species.
That's what the higher powers are saying.
They're asking for examples, and that's really not for us to say, but just trying to figure it out. It seems that the humans who are leading the parade of destruction, who are causing the planet to be destroyed, would be the ones racking up the biggest, worst karma. And
That's
that
true.
would obviously include the top executives of the fossil fuel industry.
That's true.
And other extraction industries.
That's true.
The poison industry.
Right.
But obviously, those would be included, right? We can all see that, surely, right? And explosives, because the wiser minds above keep saying, next time we're not giving you explosives. So
That's right.
probably being involved with explosives is bad karma. So, like, don't make weapons.
That's true.
No bombs, no guns, no explosives. Don't
That's
blow off
true.
mountaintops,
That's right.
etc. For whom is the message, and why do you ask? We really want to acknowledge how it only took 2 tries with Senor Baxter.
That's true.
Or Monsieur Baxter.
That's true.
Do you guys want to give it a go? Each of you line up and take 2 tries with the worst of the worst. Just the top executives. Start somewhere. How about start with the top executives of the fossil fuel industry? It's interesting because they don't seem to be arguing that those fossil fuel industry executives might have the worst karma.
No, they haven't argued about that at all.
No. Okay. Well, what's the holdup? I see money changing hands. I see payoffs.
That's true. Payoffs in the higher dimensions.
Mhm. How high up does the attitude go of being willing to lie or cheat or steal or bully to get something that we perceive to be of value to ourselves? How high up does that go? We have found a way to quiet the room.
It's very quiet upstairs.
It's very quiet.
Kind of feels like everyone's just holding their position, hoping that we won't notice that they're still there.
They're all still there. We can feel breathing and bellies gurgling.
That's true.
Baxter, stay calm. Don't bark at chickens. This is a chicken egg farm. This is an egg farm. Don't bark at the chickens. Stay calm. We want to report up to the supervisors of the supervisors of the supervisors of these guardian angels who are still not wanting to give up whatever it is they're doing.
That's true.
To handle the assignment. Maybe they want to pretend that they don't have the assignment.
That could be.
Maybe their own karma is also being delayed. Is that possibly what's going on? What are the karmic implications for guardian angels not doing their jobs?
That's a good question.
I'm curious about that. What are the karmic implications for guardian angels not doing their jobs? everything's so quiet that I wonder, do you guys want us to cover the last Search for Truth rules? I'll go give it a go. Because
Yeah, we can do that.
Aren't
It's so
responding. And we're to number 10.
Yes, that's true.
Number 10. This is a big job. Be useful in every moment. This is relevant to you
That's
guys.
very relevant, isn't it?
Waste nothing. Not time, not money, not focus, not energy. Use all resources to create worlds that work in all dimensions for all categories of sentience, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. Focus on the long-standing assignments of re-establishing upward flow and evacuating the even deeper, denser dimensions in order to re-establish upward flow. Add in shortening the karmic cycles, since we know that is also essential in order to establish a working training program.
That's right.
There may be more that is also essential. If and when it is identified, focus on it also. That's rule number 10. This is a big job. Be useful in every moment. Waste nothing. Not grace, energy, finances, focus, assets, or time.
They're all still there, holding their positions frozen.
Mm-hmm. We'll go on to number 11. Respect everything. None of us are inherently better than anything else. Our actions and inactions show who and what we really are.
Whoa.
Become better every single day. Become our better and better and better selves. Be useful in every moment. That's kind of also relevant.
That's true.
Be useful in every moment. Our actions, actually, in another version, it's already been modified, I believe. Our actions and inactions show who and what we really are.
That's true.
What does it say when people don't do their jobs? Do you hear anything?
No.
It's very quiet. The portal's
Very
still
quiet.
open.
Yeah, and maybe more open now.
Okay, we'll go on to number 12.
Ready.
Live to high standards. Acknowledge our errors right away and correct them right away. I'm feeling better in the
I'm
head.
feeling a lot better.
Number 13. Enforce the search for truth rules. No sitting silently by while others break the rules.
That's true.
This ends the written communication of the search for truth rules.
That's true.
We acknowledge that there might be other rules that have not been committed to paper. We've been paying attention and watching for them for 6 months maybe.
That's
watching
true.
for other search for truth rules that are not committed to this list.
Huh.
And nothing's come in, but that
No.
there could be other rules.
I see relevance. That last rule about not sitting by while other people break the rules, and what happened earlier in the session when Baxter was
Breaking
shouting at the
rules.
chickens, and we demonstrated the guardian angel's job, which is to say, hey, you're not supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Mm-hmm.
And how that last search for truth rule is super, super relevant to this whole topic of the guardian angels and their assignment.
No sitting silently by while others break the rules. Who up there is willing to converge on the worst of the worst at the bad tail of the bell curve and apply instant karma to the bad tail of the bell curve so that it is balancing the instant karma being applied on the good tail of the bell curve, and in such a way to provide some guidance to the masses at the center of the bell curve?
That's
Who
true.
is willing?